Hello and welcome everyone to the Week Ahead Commodity Report, where we of course will be reviewing the markets for the week ahead. As we head into the final stretch of May and into the final month of the second quarter, rapidly surging global inflation, the global energy shock, EV revolution and global food crisis, they are now emerging as the four biggest and most explosive macro themes driving the commodity supercycle. This in return continues to present savvy traders with an exciting and endless flow of opportunities to capitalize on the most lucrative market moving themes ever seen to generate huge profits fast. Another day and another commodity skyrockets to all-time record highs. That is one of the most lucrative and exciting hallmarks of the commodity supercycle that we currently find ourselves in right now. A dominant theme within the current commodity supercycle that needs no introduction is rapidly surging global inflation. In the US, inflation is rising at the fastest pace in 41 years. In China and Japan, inflation is shattering records, whilst in many other economies, including Australia, Canada, Europe, inflation is at its highest level in almost 30 years, whilst in the UK, inflation is now running at 9%, which is the highest level since 1982 and still accelerating. If inflation continues to surge at the current pace across the world, then we're only months away from a return to double-digit inflation on the same scale last seen in the 1970s. As traders, we very well know every 1% rise in inflation ultimately equates to a 10% move higher in commodity prices. With inflation now running between 8 to 9% across many of the world's major economies, it comes as no surprise that a total of 27 commodities, ranging from the metals to the energies to soft commodities, they have tallied up astronomical double to triple digit gains already within the first 5 months of 2022. And this is just the beginning. The commodity supercycle, it's only just getting started. Elsewhere, the global energy shock that is unfolding day by day could be one for the record books. Last week, the energy markets, they took center stage with natural gas prices surging back to all-time highs. Natural gas prices have now tripled since January, rallying from just under $3.50 to a current high of $8.54, notching up a whopping gain of over 144% so far this year. The likelihood of prices doubling from current levels is getting stronger by the day. The spectacular surge in prices, that has prompted traders to increase their bullish calls for prices to soar further and hit new record highs of $12 to $14 by the summer. Elsewhere in the energy markets, crude oil prices, they've surged to their highest level since March in anticipation of high demand from China. The world's largest importer of crude began easing their corona-related restrictions. Expectations are now running high that the oil market that may see an identical V-shaped recovery in demand as seen in 2020 when China ended their lockdown. That event triggered a historic bull run, taking prices from sub $40 a barrel in April of 2020 to a decade high of almost $140 a barrel in April of 2022. That's a record-breaking gain of more than 450% in the last 2 years. There's no doubt that the entire energy sector right now is presenting one of the greatest and most rewarding trading opportunities of this current commodity supercycle. Another major theme of the commodity supercycle is the global food crisis, which is positioning agricultural commodities as one of the hottest asset classes of 2022. Since the days of the pandemic, farmers have faced a myriad of challenges, including fertilizer shortages, droughts and adverse weather, along with supply chain constraints and a rise in fuel prices. And now the war in Ukraine has only exacerbated the problems, sending agricultural prices across the board from wheat to corn to coffee to sugar to cotton skyrocketing to multi-year and all-time record highs. According to the World Bank, agriculture commodity prices, they could surge another 60% this year from the current levels and remain elevated well into 2024. And last but no means least is the EV and green energy revolution. The switch towards a greener world is creating fresh demand for metals such as aluminium, copper, cobalt, nickel, lithium, platinum, palladium, uranium and rare earth metals. Each and every one of those metals has already hit all-time highs off the back of the triple deficit, low inventories, low spare capacity and low investment, which is pushing the price of the entire commodity complex higher. On top of all of this, global demand is booming at a record pace, but there is one problem. The world needs more commodities and lots of them, but global supply is shrinking at an equally record pace. The cumulative effect of this crisis is it's fueling an unstoppable commodity supercycle, sending everything from the metals to energies to agriculture markets skyrocketing and positioning the entire sector as one of the most lucrative asset classes of this year, if not the decade. A long list of leading Wall Street banks from Goldman Sachs to JP Morgan to Bank of America, they have described commodities as their preferred asset class over the next decade. This month, Warren Buffett, who is arguably the world's most successful investor, he also joined that list, revealing that his biggest investment ever is currently riding on the commodity supercycle. In the words of Warren Buffett, the commodity markets right now represent one of the greatest generational opportunities of our lifetime, not to be missed. Banks, hedge funds, they are making multi-billions capitalizing on the week-to-week opportunities across the entire commodity supercycle, and it's not so different for the retail market. The majority of our clients at the Gold and Silver Club, utilizing our proprietary research-driven trading approach, they've already made in excess of 6 and 7 figures so far this year, and we're only 5 months into the year. Here are just some of the testimonials which have been flooding in from our clients, sharing their success and achievements. Extraordinary times, they create extraordinary opportunities, and right now as traders we are living in some of the most rewarding times ever in history. Whichever way you look at it, the case for commodities in a well-diversified portfolio has never been more obvious than it is right now. So with that, let's move over to the charts and we'll talk you through exactly what we look at here as we head into a new week. So first of all, starting off with gold here. So gold closed the week out at 1,846 US dollars per ounce. We've taken the opportunity this week to add further positions into gold, also into silver, into copper, and we've also booked over the last week more profits on platinum and taken more profits off crude oil as well. In fact, crude oil going into next week, I'm looking for a further run up here back towards the swing highs, taking the price back towards the 1 month highs here around 114 US dollars per barrel for WTI crude oil. I'm looking to scale out of more profits off this market, but also I'm looking for an impulse move higher as you move into the month of June, once we get the lockdowns easing in China, and also once we move into the summer driving season, where I am expecting demand to pick up. Not only do we have exposure here to WTI crude oil, we also have exposure, of course, to Brent crude oil as well, which is close to breaking back towards its swing highs, making a move back towards 115 US dollars per barrel. We maintain 2 positions on this market. Very simply, as we go into next week, I'm looking for further follow through, taking the price back up towards those swing highs, back towards 115 to 117 US dollars per barrel. So we have 2 positions on Brent already, 1 position on WTI crude oil. I'm looking for further follow through to the upside. Essentially, I'm looking to scale out of more profits, banking on strength if we do get that breakout all the way up towards the 1 month highs. Furthermore, I'm looking for follow through over the month of June as well, taking the price back up to the swing highs that were tested over the month of March. Now, another market to keep on your radar going into next week is going to be copper. So as we get towards the end of May and then into June as well, typically this is a favorable time of year, but alongside that, again, you've got China, which are going to be easing their lockdowns. You're going to see demand pick up again for copper, and with that, I'm expecting a decent reversal and recovery to the upside. We also saw that into the close on Friday for equity markets, getting a bit of a relief rally there as well. I'm expecting copper to outperform, and essentially we're built into positions here over the last week when we broke all the way down towards 9-month lows for copper, sniped in at these swing lows, which enabled us essentially to then build in lower trades and then stack out that position where we currently have 6 trades on copper as we go into next week, taking partial profits off those trades as we continue to get this slingshot move higher. So essentially, I'm looking for further upside on copper as we go into next week. We also took the opportunity the previous week to scale out more profits on platinum at 990 US dollars per ounce. We've been consolidating now over the last week on platinum. As I mentioned before, I perceive the buy opportunity right now is when platinum rolls back down towards that $900 per ounce to 924 US dollars per ounce zone. Each time we've revisited that zone over the last month here, it's provided lots of liquidity, quickly gets a bid, and there's opportunities to come in and out the platinum market very quickly. Silver as well, we executed a position at the beginning of last week which moved nicely into profit into Friday's close here. You can see as well we've had a basing formation. We retested as well the swing lows going back to December of last year, and also prior to that, September of 2021. Found support yet again around $20.50 per ounce. So it was a great opportunity to sniper in at the beginning of last week, and then we've seen that V-shaped reversal price structure over the last few days, forming a base, and essentially I'm looking for silver prices to continually base out as we move towards the end of May here and into June, and then get a move back above $22 per ounce, and then take the price back towards the levels that were broken down from over the month of April here. A V-shaped reversal to the upside and against the dollar as well. So you can see here the dollar in the last week started to taper off. It's broken down 1.4% in the last week. You can see where the breakout peaked at 105 the previous week. So essentially with the dollar index here, as long as we stay around or below the 103.50 zone, I could see the dollar index slowly but surely consolidate and start to roll over as we head into the month of June. Typically, the month of June is not as strong for the dollar index and tends to favor a lot of commodities. So I'm looking for further pressure on the dollar index once we move into the month of June, and then further accelerating a price higher here for energy prices such as crude oil and also Brent crude oil and gasoline, and alongside that heating oil. I'm expecting industrial commodities, as I mentioned to you, platinum, copper, to do well as we head into next week. So there's definitely no lack of opportunities here to capitalize on as we get towards the end of May and once we move into a fresh month for the month of June. As we enter a new economic climate, the importance of having an essential income generating skill like trading has become a must-have necessity if you want to actually reach your long-term financial goals in these rapidly changing markets. Then you can't just stockpile cash in a savings account, because rapidly surging inflation, that will erode your wealth and purchasing power. Instead, you need to make your money work as hard for you as you've worked hard for it. With that said, there's no surprise that commodities, they have firmly positioned themselves as one of the most exciting and liquid asset classes, which continue to present savvy traders with unlimited opportunities to generate huge profits fast. Extraordinary times, they do create extraordinary opportunities, and right now these markets, they're a trader's paradise. Banks, hedge funds, they're making multi-billions capitalizing on the super cycle, and it's not so different for the retail market. The majority of our clients at the Gold and Silver Club, utilizing our proprietary research-driven trading approach, have already made in excess of 6 and 7 figures so far this year, and we still have another 7 months left to go. If you've been kicking yourself for missing out on some of the biggest trading opportunities so far this year, and you still want to make 2022 your best year yet, then you still have time if you take action now. We are seeing one of the greatest wealth transfers ever in history. The time to start making money in the commodity super cycle is right now. One of the biggest obstacles that holds 95% of retail traders back from achieving their desired success, it's not having access to professional strategies and institutional level data and market intelligence to make confident decisions with accuracy in these highly profitable markets. If you follow the wrong strategy, or worse still, if you lack access to the right data at the right time, you will end up wasting lots of time, money and effort and have no results to show for all of your hard work. If you want to thrive and not just survive in these highly macro-driven markets, then you need to adapt and utilize a professional research-driven approach. Having access to the right data at the right time, it's the single greatest difference between ordinary and extraordinary results. Trading like every other misguided retail trader out there, using outdated technical analysis and gimmicky technical indicators, that will not work. As traders, we have a superior advantage to capitalize on every highly lucrative move fast, no matter if the markets trade up, down or sideways. You need to know exactly when to buy, when to sell, but also more importantly, which asset class to focus on and when. The greater your data and intelligence, the greater your edge in navigating these fast-moving markets with superior levels of precision, confidence and profitability. We still have another 7 months left to go of this year. Never underestimate what you can achieve in the next few months from now with the right guidance and mentorship. You can always give people the right skills, knowledge and strategies to transform their financial future. One thing you can't give them back is the time they have lost. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Make sure that you don't waste it. If you want us to help you achieve the same level of wealth and success as our clients at the Gold and Silver Club, then there is an opportunity for you to join our professional mentorship program. As a member, you get access to our exclusive live trading room webinars. You get access to real-time trade ideas, access to our institutional research and market intelligence, access to our private Members Academy website, and also support and one-to-one mentoring. For more information, just go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. The link is also below this report in the description, so just click on the link, make an application, and we will of course get in touch with you ASAP.